How about another bullpen option for the Yankees? Hey, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. So, the Yankees start a series against the Mets tonight. We got Garrett Cole on the mound. So, hopefully, the Yankees can kind of turn things around a little bit and get back to their winning ways. In the meantime, as we start to approach the trade deadline, which is about 5 weeks away, more arms becoming available or talked about as potential targets and so on. It's going to be bats and arms and everything else. So, it's going to get crazy over the next several weeks. So just make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. That way you don't miss anything, okay? And if you sub to the channel, just hit the notifications. That way when news does come in, you're at the front of the line. And when I go live, you can join that as well. I thank you so much for it. With that said, here's an article I'm going to put up, okay? Right on the screen here for you. And there's another one, says Yankees viewed as a fit for the lockdown closer. Yankees struggling bullpen can get help from Los Angeles Angels. Now check this out, okay? Goes into a little bit more detail here. Yankees have struggled in recent weeks. First for them in the 2024 campaign. While both sides of the baseball haven't performed how they did in the beginning of the season, the bullpen has been a massive issue. Entering Saturday night's game, the Yankees bullpen had a 5.16 ERA in their last 29 games, according to Brian Hoax from MLB.com. He also added that in the first 48 games, they had a 2.49 ERA. Huge difference. So they clearly need help. It says here, bullpen help is needed. And for a true contender, it has to be upgraded in the biggest way. Having had a bullpen not only causes issues in October. Having a bad bullpen not only causes issues in October, but also causes Neil to slip out of the top spot in the American League East. Mark Feinstein of MLB.com is a solution for the bullpen woes. Feinstein lists the trade candidates and potential fits, including Carlos Estevez for the Yankees. Estevez with the Angels. Virtually every contender out there will be looking for bullpen help in the coming weeks. One reason the Angels should consider jumping in the market with Estevez, who's earning $6.75 million this season and heading for free agency in the fall. Here's the key. It is highlighted in purple. The closer has a .79 ERA and a 326 OPS allowed in his past 11 outings, successfully converting all 7 of his save opportunities. He's pitched in setup roles in past seasons, making him a prime trade rental candidate for clubs seeking either a closer or a late inning bridge to their current 9th inning man. He's had a sub 390 ERA for the last 3 years, but looks to be on his way to having the best season of his career, and so on. I'm going to attach this article, okay? I'm going to attach this article so you can read it for yourself down below. And this is another option. This is a righty option. We talked about, and I've even said I think it would be a good idea for them to get a lefty and a righty for the bullpen, okay? And if they want strikeout guys, they can get strikeout guys. If they want just guys that put the ball on the ground, they put the ball on the ground. But if they're going to get more guys to put balls on the ground, like Clay Holmes does, during contact, they're going to need to improve their infield defense. I don't know how much J.D. Davis is going to improve their infield defense. I have no idea. Oswald Peraza would have done that, but he was optioned back out of AAA. I think to make room for J.D. Davis on the 26. Okay, Nick Birdie was transferred to the 60-day to make room for J.D. Davis on the 40-man, but he needs to be, in order to play with the Yankees, he needed to be moved on to the 26. And Oswald Peraza provided that path for him yesterday. But I wish they would have found a way to have Peraza and J.D. Davis here. It would have made it easier for them to either sit DJ Lemahieu or potentially try to move Gleyber Torres. I think at this point, Gleyber Torres needs a change of scenery. I think he knows the Yankees aren't bringing him back. He's in his head a little bit. And I think a change of scenery might do him some good. I think he's a talented player. He can hit, obviously. But we want him to get the best out of himself. And he's cost himself tens of millions this season in a potential contract this offseason. So I want him to get back to his own ways. As long as if we send him to a team, as long as we don't send him to a team that's going to kill us. So, but I do think there are teams out there willing to take a gamble on a 27-year-old, high talented upside infielder. Okay. We'll see what happens. If he doesn't have trade value enough to get players or prospects, then maybe international money. I mean, the Yankees moved Joey Gallo a few years ago for Clayton Beeter. I didn't think Brian Cashman was able to get that much value for Joey Gallo. Then last year they moved Billy McKinney for international money. I didn't think they were going to be able to do that either. Gleyber Torres is better than both those guys. So I do think there is a spot for him to be traded. I don't know where, but there's a spot for him to be traded. Okay, but back to this again. The infield has to complement. It does complement the bullpen a lot, depending on who you bring in. Like I said, if they elicit draw contact, then you got to make sure your defense on point. Okay, if they're strikeout pitchers, then not so much, but I would still do that anyway. But here's another option for the Yankees bullpen. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, I would love to see if they can get Carlos Estevez, but it's going to cost a lot. The price tag is going to be high. The price tag on him, Estevez, or somebody who's going to be free agent at the end of the year. I think Ryan Presley's going to be a free agent at the end of the year too. There's quite a few other ones that are going to be free agents at the end of the year. Tanner Scott on the lefty side, and who could bring value to the Yankees. And I do think the Yankees will eventually bring in two guys. One of the things that they're good at is turnover the bullpen, continually bringing in new arms or fresh arms to do the things that the current arms are not doing. So that's in Cashman, and I trust. And in Matt Blake, I trust to do a good job with whoever Cashman brings him. Okay? But with that said, they've got other areas of work they need to do too. Infield particularly. Okay? Not necessarily the outfield right now. We do have Oscar Gonzalez waiting too, that we got off waivers from the Cleveland Guardians, who's in the outfield too. And even though Jason Dominguez is out, Everson Pereira's out, they're blocked anyway. So a guy like Oscar Gonzalez could provide some value too, especially and I don't know if he could play in the infield, but maybe he can. But hopefully Ben Rice pans out at first base. And we'll see if they decide whether they want to get an upgrade at catcher offensively. And if they do, Jose Trevino could be moved. So, but now, I've talked to Joey from the shift yesterday, and shout out to Joey for having me on as a guest. I appreciate it. It was a great time. Make sure you support Joey from the shift. It's a great channel. Just a great dude overall. Really great guy. And we were talking about this yesterday, and this is something that I've kind of alluded to over the last week. Teams that were not contenders now are in the hunt for being contenders. So their trade deadline priorities might change. A certain team like Garrett Crochet from the White Sox, they may hope that a team or two teams from the same division show interest in their guy, because then it can create a bidding war, right? Because you have two rival teams competing for the same pitcher. So I would imagine that a lot of these guys are going to be held on to unless they get a team willing to pay a high bounty for their player early on. Then it might make sense to do that. But I think they're going to wait a lot. I think the trade deadline is going to be a lot busier the week into the deadline than it will be the next couple of weeks. But with that said, let me know what your thoughts are about this particular reliever for the Yankees. Okay, if you could bring in two relievers, who would they be? Just out of curiosity, and just no matter who, okay, for the trade deadline, and who would you give up for these relievers? Let's get into that, gang, and I'll be back later on with the lineup against the Mets. Have a great day. Talk to you later.